We were in the tornado.
Around 8:44 this
Dozens
morning.
of wind-overturned trucks in the United States. Lava from the Piton de la Fournaise volcano reached the ocean. A landfill collapse occurred in Indonesia. Crocodiles appeared on flooded streets in Australia. And the largest deep-focus earthquake occurred in Italy. These and other climate events of the past week are covered in our report. We will also discuss the threats hidden deep within the planet's interior. United States. A powerful storm system on March 10th triggered a series of tornadoes across the Midwestern United States. The town of Lake Village in the state of Indiana was struck by one of the most destructive twisters. An EF3 tornado tore directly through residential areas of the town. Footage from the scene shows streets where buildings were ripped apart, with debris from roofs and walls scattered across yards and roads. Emergency services report that more than 100 homes were severely damaged and about 30 were completely destroyed. The tornado knocked down trees and power lines, leaving parts of the town without electricity. The disaster claimed the lives of an elderly couple. 11 other people were injured. The same storm system also produced another rare weather phenomenon, giant hail in Illinois. Some hailstones reached a diameter of 15 centimeters. On social media, residents shared photos and videos showing ice chunks that barely fit in the palm of a hand. Meteorologists note that such hail size could set a new record for the state. The hail damaged vehicles and shattered windows and rooftops of homes.
And that's one of the smaller pieces.
On March 12th, a storm front stretching more than 3,000 kilometers struck the western and central United States, affecting about 80 million people. In some areas, wind gusts reached 175 kilometers per hour.
Wild in terms of the wind, too, is that these...
Strong winds tore roofs off houses and knocked out power lines. At the peak of the storm, more than 1 million customers were left without electricity in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan. In the state of Colorado, the storm triggered a dust storm that drastically reduced visibility.
Around 8:44.
Crosswinds on highways overturned dozens of heavy trucks, and a section of Interstate 25, approximately 50 kilometers long, was closed after multiple such accidents.
Look right here, Highway 93, like I mentioned.
A powerful cyclone formed over the central United States on March 14th. Within 24 hours, more than half a meter of snow fell in the states of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Strong winds caused blizzard conditions and significantly reduced visibility on roads. In Minnesota alone, police recorded more than 100 traffic accidents. Severe weather also disrupted air travel. More than 600 flights were canceled at Minneapolis Airport, and delays affected other major airports across the region. Australia. In the top-end region of the Northern Territory of Australia, tropical downpours triggered large-scale flooding. The city of Katherine was the hardest hit, experiencing the largest flood in the past 28 years. Streets and low-lying areas were submerged, and homes, businesses, and urban infrastructure were damaged. Smaller remote communities in the surrounding areas of Katherine were also affected by the flooding. Some settlements were evacuated for the second time this year. About 300 residents of the town of Daly River had only returned home 2 weeks earlier after the previous disaster. However, the elements struck again with renewed force. In 5 days, more than 570 millimeters of rain fell, causing the most powerful flood in the region's recorded history.
To people, a couple of local tradies who had just gathered all the...
Rescue teams evacuated people from vehicles and homes using boats and helicopters. In flooded areas, especially along the Daly River and in the city of Katherine, both saltwater and freshwater crocodiles were spotted. Some were seen directly in residential neighborhoods and even on a football field. According to the mayor, she had never observed such a number of these reptiles after a flood before. More than 100,000 crocodiles live in the Northern Territory, and when murky floodwaters inundate urban streets, these reptiles become a serious threat to residents. Heavy rainfall also rapidly raised water levels in rivers across Queensland, triggering flooding in several river basins simultaneously. Over 3 days, the region received a record amount of rainfall, about 400 millimeters. The disaster caused significant damage to transportation infrastructure. Approximately 760 roads were affected across the state. The most severe situation developed in the city of Bundaberg, where the Burnett River overflowed its banks and flooded hundreds of homes and businesses. After the closure of key bridges connecting the northern and southern parts of the city, about 10,000 residents were cut off from the outside world. On March 12th, in the Wide Bay Burnett region near the town of Kilkevin, 2 tourists from China were found without signs of life in a flooded vehicle. The disaster also dealt a serious blow to the region's agriculture. About 1,200 head of cattle perished, and more than 1,000 kilometers of fencing were damaged. Indonesia. On March 8th, in Indonesia's West Java province, a massive waste collapse occurred at the largest landfill in Southeast Asia. Every day, up to 8,000 tons of waste are transported to the landfill from the country's capital, Jakarta. In some areas, the height of garbage mounds exceeds 50 meters, comparable to a 16-story building. The landslide was triggered by several days of heavy rainfall, with the peak occurring on March 8th, when 264 millimeters of rain fell in a single day. Moisture penetrated the waste mass, making it unstable and causing layers to shift. The collapse happened while several trucks were waiting to unload. A mass of waste about 50 meters high buried 5 garbage trucks and a coffee kiosk, blocked a service road, and obstructed about 40 meters of the Xikting River channel. 19 excavators and 7 ambulances took part in the rescue operation. 6 people were pulled out alive from under the debris, while 7 others, unfortunately, could not be saved.
Please, find him for me. I told them.
Ethiopia. After several days of heavy rainfall on March 10th, destructive floods and landslides struck the Gamo zone in southern Ethiopia. Water-saturated mountain slopes collapsed at night while residents were asleep, burying villages under thick layers of mud and debris. The disaster destroyed about 190 homes, blocked roads, and flooded bridges. Vast agricultural lands were also wiped out. More than 3,400 people were forced to leave their homes and seek shelter in churches and public buildings. Continuous downpours hampered rescue operations. 1 person was pulled out alive after spending 3 days trapped under landslide debris. At least 107 people lost their lives and dozens more remain missing. Seismic and volcanic activity. A new, very powerful eruptive episode of the Kilauea volcano occurred in Hawaii. On March 10th, lava fountains in the Halemaumau crater exceeded heights of 400 meters. The ash plume reached an altitude of about 9 kilometers, causing disruptions at Hilo International Airport. The eruption lasted for 9 consecutive hours, and volcanic rock fragments fell in communities near Kilauea. In some areas, debris the size of a soccer ball was found. For safety reasons, certain sections of Highway 11 were closed. In Hawaii Volcanoes National Park and near the volcano golf course, ashfall and fine strands of volcanic glass, known as Pele's hair, which are hazardous to the respiratory system, continue to be reported. Due to breathing difficulties, 1 person with asthma sought medical assistance. A nearly month-long continuous eruption on one of the slopes of the French volcano Piton de la Fournaise on Réunion Island entered a new phase as the lava flow advanced. On the morning of March 12th, lava movement resumed. The flow approached the RN2 highway and began slowly descending the southeastern slope of Grand Brûlé toward the ocean at a speed of about 25 to 30 meters per hour. On March 13th, the lava flow, for the first time in nearly 20 years, crossed the road, completely cutting off transport links between the southern and eastern parts of the island, and then continued moving toward the coast. The lava flow measured about 15 meters in width and up to 1.5 meters in height. Specialists from the Piton de la Fournaise Volcanological Observatory report that magma continues to feed into the volcano system, meaning the eruption remains active. The lava reached the ocean on the night of March 16th. Contact of basaltic lava with seawater produced dense plumes of steam enriched with volcanic gases and fine glassy particles. A strong odor lingered in the surroundings, and the irritating gases caused burning sensations in the eyes and throat. Approximately 50 people were relocated to a safe area, but tourists continue to visit this hazardous site despite the strict prohibition. On the morning of March 13th, a strong earthquake with a magnitude of 6.5 was recorded off the coast of Chile. The epicenter was located 41 kilometers southwest of the city of Huasco in the Atacama region, with a focal depth of about 26 kilometers. The tremors were felt across a wide area from Atacama to Valparaiso, including the capital, Santiago. The strongest shaking, reaching 6 on the Mercalli scale, was recorded in the cities of La Serena, Coquimbo, and La Higuera. Witnesses reported that the shaking lasted nearly 4 minutes. A series of aftershocks followed the main quake. In areas near the epicenter, rockfalls and minor landslides were recorded. However, there were no reports of casualties or significant damage. In northern Turkey, in Tokat province, an earthquake with a magnitude of 5.5 occurred on March 13th. Its focus was located at a depth of 6.37 kilometers. Seismic shaking was also felt in neighboring provinces. As a result of the earthquake, plaster fell from buildings in several locations, suspended ceilings were damaged, and small cracks appeared on the walls of a regional boarding secondary school. The nighttime earthquake frightened residents. Many rushed out of their homes and remained outside until dawn due to fear of aftershocks. In comments, eyewitnesses reported experiencing strong fear and anxiety. Several residents sought medical assistance due to stress and minor injuries sustained during evacuation. Authorities in Tokat province canceled school classes for 1 day as a safety precaution. Residents of Sochi in Russia also felt echoes of the earthquake in Turkey. In social media comments, they reported that tremors were noticeable early in the morning in several districts of the city. It is worth noting that in March of this year, seismic activity off the coast of Sochi was elevated. On March 3rd and March 6th, a series of earthquakes with magnitudes ranging from 4.4 to 4.7 were recorded in the Black Sea, within 20 kilometers of the coast. In residential buildings, chandeliers swayed and windows rattled. Fortunately, no people were injured, and no significant infrastructure damage was reported. According to experts in this part of the Black Sea, series of earthquakes with magnitudes above 4 had not been recorded during the entire period of instrumental observations. A strong, deep-focus earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 occurred on March 9th near Naples, beneath the Tyrrhenian Sea. The hypocenter of the earthquake was at a depth of 410 kilometers. Due to this great depth, seismic waves traveled long distances, and the tremors were felt across Italy, from Naples to Milan and Verona. The earthquake affected railway operations. In Rome, some trains were temporarily cancelled, and on lines north of Naples, delays of up to 1.5 hours occurred due to infrastructure inspections. A strong, deep-focus earthquake with a magnitude of 5.9 occurred on March 9th near Naples, beneath the Tyrrhenian Sea. The hypocenter of the earthquake was at a depth of 410 kilometers. Due to this great depth, seismic waves traveled long distances, and the tremors were felt across Italy, from Naples to Milan and Verona. The earthquake affected railway operations. In Rome, some trains were temporarily cancelled, and on lines north of Naples, delays of up to 1.5 hours occurred due to infrastructure inspections. The magnitude 5.9 earthquake on March 9th was the largest deep-focus event ever recorded in this region. This event is just one example of processes occurring deep within our planet. Let's briefly examine the physics behind these phenomena. Excess energy generated in the outer core directly affects the geodynamics of the mantle, causing it to melt more intensely. It is this melting of mantle material that triggers deep focus earthquakes, which occur at depths greater than 300 kilometers and currently reach as much as 800 kilometers. The mechanism of these events remained unclear to scientists for a long time because, under extreme temperatures and pressures at great depths, earthquakes seemed impossible. Mantle material was expected to deform plastically rather than break brittlely, as occurs in the Earth's crust. However, deep focus earthquakes are now regularly recorded. According to the scientific hypothesis proposed by the ALLATRA researchers, deep focus earthquakes are powerful intra-mantle explosions. They often trigger strong earthquakes in the Earth's crust, increasing their destructive power, and can also cause volcanic eruptions. These processes are further dangerous due to the enormous amounts of energy released. Intramantle explosions convert mechanical energy into thermal and electrical energy, generating powerful electromagnetic pulses that pass through the Earth's layers, reach the atmosphere, disturb the magnetic field, and redistribute electrical charges. Deep focus earthquakes can initiate a whole series of hazardous processes on the Earth's surface. Their true danger is still underestimated, while the number of such events continues to grow exponentially. A severe storm struck a megacity in Pakistan. Hawaii experienced the strongest flooding in 20 years. Australia was thrown into chaos by a tropical cyclone of rare intensity. And in the Canary Islands, the islands of eternal spring, snow fell. In this episode, we will show what climate events occurred in the world over the past week and what lies behind them. United States. Starting from March 16th, the strongest flooding in more than 20 years was observed in the Hawaiian Islands. It was caused by a Kona low-type cyclone, a special atmospheric system that disrupts the usual circulation of winds and brings prolonged heavy rains to the islands. Oahu and Maui, the two most visited tourist islands of the archipelago, suffered the greatest damage from the disaster. In less than 2 days, up to 500 millimeters of precipitation fell on soil already saturated with rain. Rivers overflowed their banks, flooding vast areas, including residential neighborhoods and resort zones. In the northern regions of Oahu, more than 5,500 people received evacuation orders. The Hawaii National Guard was deployed to assist residents trapped due to the rapid rise of water. Rescuers evacuated people from rooftops and flooded homes. More than 200 people were rescued by emergency response services. Due to the threat of a dam breach on the northern coast of Oahu, on March 20th, the authorities declared a state of emergency. In Hawaii, hundreds of homes were damaged due to the raging elements. Roads, schools, hospitals, and other social infrastructure facilities were also damaged. According to preliminary estimates, the damage amounted to more than $1 billion. Spain. An unusually powerful storm, Teresa, struck the Canary Islands on March 18th, causing serious chaos. The tourist region, known for its sunny weather and mild climate, found itself under the impact of extreme forces of nature. Transport was paralyzed, dozens of flights were cancelled or redirected, and ports were closed. In the area of Izaña, on the island of Tenerife, storm wind gusts intensified up to 122 kilometers per hour. Teide National Park was covered with snow, and icicles even appeared in resort areas, although the average minimum temperature in March here is plus 15 degrees Celsius. Snow led to road closures. In the northern part of the island, a landslide damaged a water supply channel, causing disruptions in water supply. And in the municipality of Arrecife on the island of Lanzarote, waves up to 5 meters high damaged embankments, piers, and beach infrastructure facilities. 2 people on a boat were rescued from the raging sea off the coast of the island of Fuerteventura. Record rainfall on the island of Gran Canaria led to sudden floods and landslides. In Vega de San Mateo, more than 100 millimeters of rain fell in less than 1 day, and a massive rock blocked the main mountain road, GC60. The Canary Archipelago has a volcanic origin, and its islands are cut by deep, dry gorges, which during heavy rains turn within minutes into turbulent streams carrying stones and mud, posing a serious threat to people. Rainwater in the municipality of Mogan flooded a gorge, and approximately 200 residents of the town of Arganagin were left isolated. The flooding led to damage to a pumping station in the municipality of La Aldea de San Nicolas, leaving the population without water. In Galdar, the Los Perez Dam overflowed, which has happened only for the third time in its entire history. Malawi. Starting from March 16th, heavy rains struck Malawi, leading to large-scale floods and landslides across the country. As a result of the disaster, infrastructure was affected, roads were washed out, and water and power supply systems were disrupted. At hydroelectric power plants, part of the equipment had to be shut down for cleaning from debris carried by rivers. As a result, the generated capacity at some hydropower plants decreased by 1/4. In the central region of Malawi, in Lilongwe district, a large-scale landslide with an area of about 36 hectares was recorded. The affected area is no longer suitable for living and agriculture. Due to the rapid rise of water, livestock and poultry died. And in Nkata Bay district of the northern region of the country, the port sustained serious damage. 2 children died in the city of Mangochi in the southern region when they tried to cross an overflowing river. In total, across the country, at least 13 people died as a result of the disaster, and dozens of people were injured. Pakistan. A powerful storm hit the multi-million city of Karachi in Pakistan on the evening of March 18th. Almost all districts of the city were affected by the disaster. Winds with speeds of up to 97 kilometers per hour tore off roofs, billboards, knocked down trees and power line poles. The storm caused damage to 645 transformer feeders, as a result of which 70% of the system of the power supply company, K Electric, went out of operation, leaving most of Karachi without electricity. Building walls suddenly collapsed, already weakened, according to eyewitnesses, by recent rains. Dozens of people were buried under the rubble. By late night, the bodies of 19 dead were recovered, and residents transported the injured and the dead to the city hospital by their own efforts. In rural areas of Sindh province and the bordering parts of Balochistan, heavy rains and hail destroyed crops, as well as mango and date orchards. In a number of districts of Balochistan province, water flooded lowlands, and in mountainous sections of the N50 and N70 highways, landslides created problems for traffic. In the city of Karachi and other areas of Sindh, storm winds, thunderstorms, and hail caused the deaths of at least 24 people. Another 60 people were injured. Australia. On March 16th, a tropical cyclone, Narelle, formed in the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland. The cyclone rapidly intensified and reached Category 4, but just before making landfall, it weakened slightly, and on March 20th struck the coast of northern Queensland with sustained winds of about 200 kilometers per hour, corresponding to Category 3 tropical hurricanes on the Saffir-Simpson scale. According to the Australian Tropical Cyclone Intensity Scale, this storm became the first event of such strength on the Cape York Peninsula since 1899. Fortunately, Narelle passed between Lockhart River and Cowan, 2 major settlements, without causing them significant damage. In the northern part of Cowan, in the Archer River area, 400 millimeters of precipitation fell in less than 24 hours. The water level under the recently constructed Archer River Bridge rose from 5 to 13 meters within a few hours. Hundreds of homes were left without power due to fallen power lines, and mobile communication also stopped working. Coastal roads up to the city of Cairns were flooded by the storm surge, which washed away trees, sections of embankments, pedestrian paths, and benches into the ocean. On some beaches, wind and tides created sand deposits. Due to blockages and overflowing rivers and streams, many roads were closed. Cooktown Airport became the only accessible hub for transporting people and goods to isolated settlements. The tourist town of Port Douglas, which serves as a gateway to the famous Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree rainforest, also felt the effects of the tropical cyclone. The beach was eroded, even though it is about 400 kilometers from where Narelle made landfall. The Northern Territory of Australia also suffered from the disaster. On the night of March 22nd, the cyclone struck the eastern part of the top end, where people were still recovering from recent floods. In the city of Catherine, most buildings had already been cleared of mud and debris, but cleanup work was partially halted due to the threat of new flooding.
Inaugural meeting. At the meeting we approved...
The city mayor noted that volunteers were simply exhausted. For 2 weeks, they had tirelessly dealt with the aftermath of the previous flood wave, and now they were forced again and again to clear the same areas. The cyclone soon weakened and turned into a tropical depression, but as it moved west, it continued to bring heavy rains and strong winds. In the town of Adelaide River, more than 200 millimeters of precipitation were recorded in 24 hours. Hundreds of residents of the remote settlement Nambulwar were evacuated to Darwin as a precaution. It should be noted that along the trajectory of Narelle, the ocean temperature exceeded average levels by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, which explains the unusual strength of the cyclone for the region. The Coral Sea, where the tropical cyclone formed, is one of the oceanic areas that has warmed by almost half a degree over the past decades. Brazil. In mid-March, a cyclone formed in the Atlantic off the southeastern coast of Brazil, which remained almost stationary for 5 days. According to meteorologists, the reason for this unusual behavior was a blocking anticyclone that prevented the cyclone from moving into the open ocean. As a result of the disruption of air mass circulation, destructive storms occurred in a number of states in Brazil. On March 18th, a downpour struck the city of Maracaju in Mato Grosso do Sul state. In 1 hour, 121 millimeters of precipitation fell, which led to the flooding of a state school, a wholesale supermarket, and residential buildings. Streets were submerged, and traffic jams formed on the approach to the BR 267 roundabout. More than half of the monthly precipitation norm for March fell in just 4 days in the city of Santarém in Pará state. In 19 districts in the disaster zone, more than 2,000 people were affected, and more than 430 were left without housing. On March 21st, an extratropical cyclone that formed off the coast of Argentina caused dangerous weather phenomena in the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul. Against the backdrop of nearly 40-degree heat, strong winds and rains hit the region. In the city of Uruguaiana, the storm tore off roofs, knocked down trees and power line poles. In the city center, a swimming pool collapsed from the roof of a building, and in the União das Vilas area, wires sagging after the storm struck a passing motorcyclist. In the municipality of Alegrete, metal sheets from a destroyed building were scattered through the streets. In Restinga Seca, fallen trees blocked the ERS 149 highway, and in the municipality of Taquari, more than 10,000 homes were left without power supply. In Passo Fundo, a tree fell onto a bus and a passenger car. Flooding in the northern part of the state began on March 22nd after heavy rains, the amount of which exceeded 100 millimeters. In recent years, the ocean has been warming faster than predicted. Recent studies show that this warming affects not only the surface, but also its bottom layers. The ocean floor is an active geological environment through which thermal energy is constantly transferred to the water. Submarine volcanoes, faults, mid-ocean ridges, and hydrothermal vents form a true deep heating circuit of the planet. When the geodynamic activity of the Earth intensifies, as is observed today, the heat flow from below increases, and the ocean receives additional energy. And despite numerous studies confirming the significant contribution of geothermal energy to ocean warming, this component is still almost entirely ignored in most climate models. Why is this important? Because the ocean acts as a planetary thermostat, redistributing and removing heat to stabilize the climate. But today, its ability to cool is disrupted by micro and nanoplastic, which prevents the natural dissipation of heat, turning the ocean into an energy trap. As a result, we are already witnessing a rapid increase in the number and intensity of natural disasters worldwide. And this is only the beginning. We cannot wait until catastrophes reach a new level and megastorms, megatornadoes, and mega-hurricanes become the norm. And if we do not take action now, the consequences of geodynamic activity combined with our interference in natural processes through plastic pollution will become far stronger than anything humanity has faced before.
Come through it. Come on, come on. Go for it, car. We got somebody.
Look at the wave. Look at the wave, Atwood.
Tsunami, this car's going underwater. This car ain't going. What are they doing? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they're floating.
no way.
Yeah, they're floating.
Look, her car's floating.
Since March 16th, the Hawaiian Islands have been gripped by the most powerful flooding in more than 20 years, which, according to preliminary estimates, has caused damage exceeding $1 billion.
Oh, fuck.
The cause was a Kona low system, a type of cyclone that disrupts stable air circulation and brings prolonged, heavy rainfall. The islands of Oahu and Maui were hit the hardest. In less than 2 days, up to 19.7 inches of rain fell in some areas onto already saturated ground.
Small kind of flooding. Not too bad. Check out the ducks.
You won't believe this. You gotta give it to Mother Nature, I tell you right now. Okay. 1 hour ago, this place was completely...
Rivers rapidly overflowed their banks, flooding large areas, including residential neighborhoods and tourist zones. In the northern part of Oahu, more than 5,500 people were instructed to urgently evacuate their homes.
House is fucking flooded, bro. Fucking straight mud.
It's just nuts. No water is coming up. I got bags, but everything's all flooded again.
The National Guard was deployed for the rescue operation. People were evacuated from rooftops and let out of flooded houses. In total, more than 200 people were rescued. On March 20th, A state of emergency was declared on the northern coast of Oahu due to the risk of a dam breach. The disaster caused significant damage. Hundreds of residential homes, roads, schools, medical facilities, and other infrastructure were affected.
Quite a beautiful beach we got here.
It is now clear not only to specialists that such powerful atmospheric phenomena are linked to abnormal ocean warming, which in recent years has been accelerating at an especially rapid pace. Moreover, recent studies show that warming is occurring not only at the surface, but also in the deep layers near the ocean floor. What hidden factor is adding heat to the ocean from below, and how this affects natural disasters, was explained in detail by Dr. Egon Cholakian in his video report Why is the Ocean Warming Up So Fast?